Hey guys, ProtossBaby here with another game to cast for you guys today. This one's a PvP. It's one of my own replays. I'm the blue protoss spawning in the bottom left-hand position, and R is in the top right position. I don't know if that's how you say Ara. Probably pronouncing his name wrong, but that's okay. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, Ara. So, it's Xel'Naga Caverns, so pretty close spawn locations, and I'm sure you're all familiar with the the gold third that you could take, and then your fifth base over here. Some people take this fifth base. I don't know. Yeah, so I'm scouting here after pylon, and it looks like he's not gonna do that. So we're about exactly even in the probe building area there. So I'm gonna scout his base, and I see the pylon. There's no forge or anything like that. Throw down our gateways almost identical times. He's a little bit ahead of me, about 3 seconds. So I see he's chrono boosting out probes, and I'm not really expecting, I mean, it's kind of too early to tell right now, but I'm pretty sure he's not going to be doing a 4-gate or anything like that. So I'm not going to do that because I don't really, I mean, I enjoy 4-gating, but I don't need to do it every time. So I'm pulling out here, and gonna go back and build up my probes, use all my chrono boosts because I'm not planning on 4-gating at this point. Get my gas up and send 3 of those guys over there, and immediately throw down that cyber core. Just in case he does 4-gate, I'm gonna need to have my warp kit technology out as soon as possible. So yeah, if I still have my probe in the base, I could easily tell now there's absolutely no chance of him 4-gating because he's using all of his chrono boost energy on that. He's not saving anything for chrono boosting gateways or the cyberkinetic score. He does get a second gateway here pretty quickly, but that's not too uncommon. He's probably just gonna build some stalkers because in the early game, stalkers are actually really good in PvP because you can outrun the zealots and shoot them. And then if you have more stalkers than your opponent, you just dance around the zealots and shoot the stalkers. Then there's no stalkers left, you just kill the zealots. So I'm going to start chrono boosting out a little bit on my cyber core because I'm not quite sure exactly where he is on it, but he does end up using one there too. That's pretty standard. So he's getting his second assimilator. I'm not doing that yet, but I think I do it in a couple seconds here. So I'm building stalkers out of my gateways. I recommend doing that. He's building zealots. Not quite sure why that is. I mean, stalkers are much more effective in the early game because you can just shoot zealots, run away, shoot zealots, run away. And also, stalkers are much faster, so you can go scout them much quicker, and they won't get caught out of position. Like if this was a zealot, and I come up his ramp to scout, and those were stalkers, then they could easily kill the zealot. I am kind of silly right here and just run away. I mean, I should just stutter step micro back and try to kill those zealots, but a stalker does come out, so it wouldn't have happened. So I have more stalkers back in my base. I just continue to pump those. Warp gate's about to finish, and I'll have my 4 gateways down. Because when I saw the zealots, I was pretty sure he was going to rush me because I didn't understand why he had zealots. So I kind of felt uncomfortable and decided to go with something pretty safe, which is a 4-gate. So at first I wasn't planning on 4-gating, but then it just kind of ended up that's what I was going to go for. So I'm getting a lot of stalkers right now. If I look at the units tab, I'm really beating him on the stalkers. So if our armies fought each other out in the open, that is, I would destroy him easy. But because of the fact he's up his ramp and safe, I'm not going to really be able to do anything to him because if I went up the ramp, he can just force field the ramp and then fall back a little bit. So all the units on the top will be able to fight him, but not the units on the bottom. So it'll be like half of my units versus all of his units, and then the other half. So that would be really bad for me. I'm kind of expecting he'll have at least one sentry, so I'm waiting here for more zealots, and I forgot to send a probe out to build a pylon. That's really pretty amateur. I'm just going to send up one stalker to see what he's got. I was pretty surprised to see how many units he had when I went up there, because I only saw 3 zealots at the beginning, and I was like, okay, this guy's a noob, I don't know why he's building zealots, but it's actually a pretty formidable force, and something I definitely don't want to engage head on, because sure, I could try to pick off all the stalkers while I dodge the zealots, but he does have about 2 force fields with each of these sentries, so he could force field me, and if the zealots get on me, I'll get stuck, and then I'll be really in trouble. Yeah, so I'm going to get a robotics faculty here, just in case he's going like DTs or something. I can get a observer out. I'm also building this sneaky pylon over here so I can attack his base when he attacks me. He's not quite going to see the pylon, so I'll look out there. He has an immortal here, so I know he's not going for DTs, because he would have, there's no reason he would have gotten in a robotics faculty facility if he wouldn't have gone for DTs, because there's no way he's going to have that much gas off one base. So I'm just going to build my own immortal, because I know I need defense. This army I thought was going to be a lot more threatening than it was, but I can't quite see it right now. He's going to decide to try to come up my ramp, but he's going to force field kill one zealot, but actually block himself from coming up the ramp at the same time. If he had come up that ramp, I have my own sentry right here to force field him. I don't really need to hold the ramp because his army's a lot smaller than mine, but I just need to split his army and like keep it up there so I could easily kill it. So right now I'm under the impression that his army's a lot better than mine. I didn't get quite a good look at it, so I'm building a lot more stalkers than I need to right now. He, on the other hand, he actually I think has the same misconception that my army is a lot worse than his, so he's going to try to keep me pinned here. Even though his army is worse than mine, he really can stay here and fight me. Only thing he needs to do is get a little bit closer to this ramp, and if I tried coming down the ramp, he needs to put a force field there and just kill all the units at the bottom and let the ones on the top just wait. And then if I keep trying to come down, keep force fielding it, keep force fielding it, keep force fielding it. And he really could keep me in my base forever doing that until I get a couple things. I could get blink stalkers, which could just obviously blink around the force field. I can get an Archon, which can smash the force field. I can get a Colossus that can smash the force field. Those massive units will stomp the force fields, and they'll just disappear, if you guys didn't know that. So I could do those things, or I could get a warp prism and warp in some units over here, maybe ferry some of my units down, and then I'd have too many units on the low ground and you'd have to back away. So I decided to go with blink stalkers, and I warped this. I was warping in units over here and scouting him, so I do know that he has a natural base over here. I can show you my vision. So I know he's got all this stuff, and I went around and looked in his main a little bit. So I really could just walk down this ramp right now and kill his army, but I didn't realize that he wasn't so close to the. I should send like a zealot down. I didn't realize that he wasn't so close to the ramp with the sentries that he's not gonna be able to force field me. So right now I'm just repositioning my zealots because I'm putting them in the front. So if he does try to come up the ramp, they'll be able to attack before the stalkers get in the way. So I'm just using all my chrono boost on this Twilight Council. So I'm trying to get in that blink out as fast as I can. He does have 2 bases. He's had 2 bases for quite a bit, and he's beating me on probes by about 20. So technically he's really far ahead in this game, but my army does kind of beat his by a lot, as you'll see here. So I'm just going to blink back as many stalkers as I can. I have a lot more zealots than him. It's just an ugly fight. Even I have an immortal, and so does he. But I barely lose any stalkers there. I maybe lose like 2. I think I only lost 2 stalkers. I might have lost a little bit more. So that was like a really good fight for me, and not a really good fight for him. So I warped in 5 more stalkers, and then I'm just charging his base. So now if you look at the units tab, my army is vastly superior to his. He's getting a lot of zealots, which I don't think is really the right strategy because I can blink micro against zealots really, really easily. Then I have my zealots in the front on top of that. I think Well, actually, I guess Zealot's was only option because he had the Colossus. Getting this Colossus range is important, but he should have probably put down a second robotics facility, because if you look at his money, he's got a ton of money. And this one Colossus is just not going to cut it against all these Stalkers. So I'm just blinking back the ones in the front so they don't die. And now I can blink forward and attack this Colossus because he's got no meat shields left to defend him. His Colossus buddy will fall too. He's going to try to pull the probes, try to work in more Zealots, but it's just not going to work. I'm going to easily win this game, or at least easily win the fight. I wouldn't say I easily won the game. Yeah. So his basic problem was he thought that his army was good enough to hold mine in my base, and then when I did decide to come out, he missed his force field here, and he lost his entire army, and then he didn't have time to remacro it, because I just went right at his base. So if you guys like this video, you should subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.